my name is Gigi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of self-love, what it is, how it's affecting your relationships, and some tips on how to love yourself more. Self-love is incredibly important. It is the foundation, the base of every single thing you will do in life. So if you don't love yourself, you will find yourself struggling in all aspects of your life. Without this base, you will struggle to believe in any of the actions you will take towards what you want in life. So today I really want to get into what self-love is and how to start improving your life through loving yourself more. Self-love is admiring yourself, respecting yourself, and caring for yourself the same way you would of another person that you admire. It's about respecting your needs and your body the way you would respect another person's body. It is understanding yourself, taking time to explore who you are and what you want in life, and having a clear image of that. It is putting importance within yourself, care within yourself, and deep respect for who you are and who you are growing into. It is knowing your self-worth to the point that nothing else that happens externally can touch that. It's about feeling confident, feeling free, feeling like the boundaries that you have set for yourself are so strong and you understand yourself enough that you know exactly what boundaries need to be set, that nothing can touch you and nothing can break those boundaries. You're self-assured. You know what you like and what you dislike. You know what you appreciate and what you don't. You know what aids you towards your goals and what holds you back. You have such a deep respect for yourself that you know you won't do things that will harm yourself in any way or hold you back. That is the ultimate self-love. It is like appreciating yourself beyond what anyone else could. Truly knowing yourself more than anyone else and respecting yourself above anything else. A lot of misconceptions, or the reason people view loving yourself or viewing yourself highly as a bad thing, is that loving yourself is selfish and arrogant and you're viewing yourself as a perfect person, but that is not the case. Loving yourself and being selfish is a completely different thing. Loving yourself and being arrogant is a completely different thing. One does not equal the other. The saying that you cannot love others until you love yourself is incredibly true, because you will not understand what love truly is, what respect and admiration truly is, until you have felt it for yourself. It is incredibly difficult trying to give other people something that you have not understood for yourself. To me, that is like trying to fill up all these other people's cups with your own empty cup. It will not work. It will cause issues. It will cause misunderstandings. Self-love is the foundation of everything you do, feel, and think in life. So without it, if you have this really negative view of yourself, you might even say that you hate yourself, all of your actions, thoughts, and feelings will reflect that. If you're finding yourself constantly in bad luck, you're attracting bad people towards you or bad situations towards you, it's because you're thinking that way towards yourself. Loving yourself, understanding yourself, and having respect for yourself is what sets boundaries. It's what builds these set in stone boundaries that means you can block those situations and people away from your life. If you have these solid boundaries that you know, this upsets me, I don't like this, I won't stand for this. If those people come into your life that have those bad habits, that don't respect you, your boundaries are so strong because you love yourself so much that they won't be allowed in. You will call them out and you will stop them. When you have such a deep understanding of yourself and your body and your mind, whenever life does come down on you, whenever life does present you with difficult situations, they will not nearly affect you as much is if you hated yourself and you're not confident and you don't know how your own brain works. You will see each life experience, good or bad, as a learning experience. An experience on getting to know yourself better, to understanding the way your body works and your brain works more. Things in the past that would have made you really upset, triggered you, even put you into a deep depression, would barely touch you now because you have this understanding of yourself and this respect for what you deserve. You will become resilient to the things that used to break you down. In talking about the mental side of it, you will find that because you're so self-assured, because you respect yourself and you understand yourself so much, you will understand what stresses you out, what hurts you, what causes you to have depression or anxiety. And because of that, you are able to understand how best to avoid those situations, how best to process those situations. And because of that, you will find yourself being less anxious, less stressed. And you'll be able to face those situations head on, knowing that you understand yourself, how to better protect yourself and prepare yourself to whatever life will throw at you. And because you have so much self-worth, because you have worked on yourself, you respect yourself, you've gone deep into what makes you you, all of those past insecurities that you once had are gone. Those insecurities have turned into what makes you confident, what makes you you. And because you are so self-assured, because you know your self-worth, you have built such an amazing foundation that you are able to make decisions and life choices that you know will work for you and that will push you and push you towards your goals. That is why loving yourself is so important. Because within loving yourself is the chance to push yourself further than you ever knew. Loving yourself is the building blocks that pushes you towards every good decision in your life. As soon as you start letting these insecurities build, as soon as you start doubting yourself and having a negative view about yourself, that is when you will start cornering yourself into this little bubble of comfort and routine. That is when you'll find your boundaries breaking down and you not knowing what you want for yourself or how people should treat you. Self-love is so important, and it is so important to preach what you love about yourself to yourself. Not only is self-love so important towards yourself, but it's incredibly important if you want to build stable, long-lasting relationships. Whether it's friendships, family, or partnerships, you need to have a strong foundation of self-love before you even try and love anyone else. Like I mentioned before, if you do not know what it is like to respect yourself, to love yourself, to admire yourself, you will never truly understand what it means to love other people and do those things to other people. As much as you might think that you love someone or you respect someone, there is always going to be a side of you that feels those doubts that you have about yourself towards them as well. If you cannot trust yourself, you will never be able to trust other people. If you do not respect yourself, you will never truly be able to respect other people. Like I said, trying to love other people when you do not love yourself is like trying to fill their cups with an empty cup. First, you must learn to love yourself, respect yourself, and fill up your cup. Then when it's time to love other people, build relationships with other people, you can fill their cups. If you do not have that self-love already so deep-rooted within yourself, if you do not have the respect for yourself, you will start attracting the worst type of people into your life. Because you haven't set those boundaries that you know what you want, you respect yourself, you know what disrespects you, you know what makes you feel bad. If you do not set those boundaries, you will let the worst type of people come in. You accept toxic behavior because you don't know you deserve better, or you don't believe you deserve better. You will constantly be giving and giving and pleasing for other people to the point that you've left nothing for yourself. You'll become incredibly burnt out. You'll become incredibly frustrated because you are giving and giving and giving when you have nothing to give. You'll be pouring and pouring and pouring into these people when you have nothing in your cup. That is why your relationships are failing. If you keep attracting these men into your life over and over again that are toxic, maybe even physically abusive or mentally abusive, because you're letting them in, because you don't love yourself, you're allowing these types of men to come into your life, treat you however they want, and leave once they're finished with you. Because you don't have that self-worth, because you're seeking that self-worth from them, and what you're getting back is that type of behavior, you will keep making the same mistake over and over again because you'll believe that their behavior is your fault. So how do you start loving yourself? If you're down here, disrespecting yourself, have no boundaries, letting people walk all over you, how do you start to practice loving yourself more? The first thing you need to do is be more self-aware. When you're catching yourself talking negatively about yourself or doing things that doesn't aid you towards loving yourself, stop and call yourself out. If you find yourself staring in front of a mirror and saying you look ugly, stop and call yourself out. Why am I saying that? Why do I think that? And then change what you're saying. I'm ugly, I'm beautiful. I'm dumb, I'm smart. Start switching how you talk about yourself, how you talk about your life. The more that you keep changing the way that you speak about yourself and your life, the more automatic it will come until it comes to a point you won't even have that first negative thought. Set boundaries for yourself. If you truly want to push away all of those bad people, those bad situations, and stop yourself from poisoning yourself with habits that you do, you need to set boundaries. Dive deeper into what upsets you, what truly makes you tick as a person, and what you like and dislike. When you find that out, even write it down. Likes, dislikes, behaviors you like, behaviors you don't like. Write it all down. And when you have that dislike column, set boundaries for that. If someone does this, I'm going to remove them from my life. If someone says this, I'm going to tell them it hurts. If I do this, I know it's going to hurt my body, so I'm going to say no and stop it. Setting those boundaries and making them strong and clear and not allowing little allowances to touch those boundaries means that you will start respecting yourself to a whole new level, and you will watch the people that try to get in or the situations that try to hurt you disappear because you are strong in your boundaries. As soon as something happens, you will say no. You will cut that out because that is your boundary. You need to celebrate your wins. No matter how big or small they are, you need to bring awareness to whatever makes you feel good. If one day you wake up an hour earlier because you want to do that and that's a win for you, go to yourself. Wow, I'm so proud of myself. I woke up earlier. Say you're trying to lose weight and you eat a lot healthier that day. Allow yourself to be proud of that. Say it to yourself, even out loud. I'm so proud of myself. I ate so much healthier today. The more you reward your brain with these little wins and actually congratulate yourself and bring awareness to them, the more your brain is going to want to do it. No matter how small it is, just taking a moment to appreciate the work you've put in, to bring awareness to whatever you've done, and allow yourself that little bit of happiness of, yeah, I did do that today. The more you're going to want to do it, and the more those things will become habits. Prioritize your health. Prioritize understanding your body, respecting your body. Find out how much sleep you need. Prioritize that. Find out what foods best fit with your body and eat them. Find out what workout is best for you, what exercises are best for you, what best helps keeping your body moving and healthy. That is quite literally your own self-respect in actions. You're showing yourself understanding and respect for who you are in your own body by making sure you're healthy, by doing things that aid you. This is a really, really big one, but understanding how to be alone, appreciating your own alone time. You will find people who really struggle with being alone, the people who rely on outward validation. If you're seeking external validation all the time, being alone, doing things alone will be incredibly difficult. So give yourself a challenge. Go take yourself for lunch alone. Go shopping alone. Allow yourself to sit in your house and simply be alone and learn to love that. Learn to love your own company. Constantly write stuff down. Whenever something hurts you, write it down, understand it, process it. Something good happens to you, write it down. I think journaling and just writing down affirmations, or really any sort of thing where you have to physically get your thoughts onto a piece of paper in whatever form, is incredibly important. A lot of the time when you're having bad thoughts and it's all in your head, you kind of go a bit wild with it. So if you're able to write it down on a piece of paper, get it all out as though you're talking to another person, you're able to process your emotions a bit better. You're able to understand why you're feeling this certain way. And the more you put that into practice, again, you won't feel a need to outwardly source that, because within yourself, you're able to soothe your emotions. You're able to understand your emotions. And that is all because you've took the time to love yourself, to respect yourself, and to understand yourself. And last but not least is to work on your inner child. A lot of these bad things that we think about ourselves, our insecurities, our self-doubt, whatever it is, often comes from our inner child not being healed. It comes from traumatic experiences, past traumas that have caused us to think these certain things about ourselves, often the time in childhood. So allowing yourself to truly delve into what has made you think this way, taking time to understand your triggers, understand why you're hurt, and healing that side of yourself is incredibly important. Once you start practicing all of these things, over time, you will find yourself loving yourself. At first, you'll feel like maybe it's uncomfortable or you're not quite yourself. But the more you do those things, the more that you fall in love with yourself and you trust yourself and you respect yourself, you'll realize your life is opening up around you. You'll walk into a room and you won't feel scared of being there. You'll see an opportunity and jump towards it rather than cowering back. Self-love is constantly learning more about yourself, constantly understanding yourself more, constantly pushing yourself more and more to be a better person. Even when you're in your 80s, you will never be finished. You will never be done figuring yourself out and loving yourself. That is all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to comment down below any questions you have, and I will try and get back as soon as possible. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!